So imagine you're in a room with two kinds of people, either the insanely smug, self-righteous assholes who won't stop trying to prove how fucking clever they are, and the people who are so obnoxious and in your business about every little thing that you never know a moment of fucking peace. Now imagine you're stuck in a room with these people who won't stop talking at you for an hour and 45 minutes, and then that gives you Holidate. So hi, we're here to talk about Holiday.
It's the latest Netflix rom-com that for the holiday season, as the name implies.
Hooray. Not even 1 week out from Halloween, and we're already talking about fucking Christmas.
Oh, you think that's bad? The grocery store I work at, the we got a shipment of Christmas candy today.
I hate everything about that sentence.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay. What did you think of this movie before I go on a tangent?
So let me preface this by saying that I watched this very late last night. I had intended on watching it from 10 to 12, but then I got distracted by looking for election results. Uh, and then I I chatted with my boyfriend on FB for a bit, and the next thing I knew, it was almost 1 a.m. So or like 12:30 or something. So I watched this very, very late, um, and probably later than I should have.
So
So
what do you remember? What do you think about this movie?
I okay. Let me see if I can get the positives um, out, out first, because it is a pretty short list, admittedly.
Okay. Let's hear it.
The male lead, I thought he was hot. I don't remember the actor's name.
A little bit of discount Chris Hemsworth, but yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, discount Chris Hemsworth, which I was cool with. Um, there there was a somewhat forced, but kind of on the nose blink and you miss it cameo towards the end. That was a callback to a joke earlier in the movie. I cringed a little bit at that. It's like, oh, they went there, but at least they had the balls to kind of follow through on the setup of that joke.
Which one are you talking about?
The grocery store scene. Ryan Gosling is too cool to do his own shopping.
All right.
And then if you look in the background, you either see him or his stand-in twin there.
Okay.
Uh,
I could see the joke there. It's more I think by that point I checked out hard.
and there's a point in the climactic scene where the Christmas choir sings the male lead's name. Now that made me laugh because they just committed to singing Jackson. so, so I will admit I thought that was funny. It was nice to see Kristen Chenoweth in something, even though I didn't really like her character. Um, it was nice to see the actress who played um, Emma Roberts' sister Abby, the stressed out married mom of
Yeah.
four, um, in something, because I'll always think of her as Dr. Arizona Robbins from Grey's Anatomy. Although I that seeing her in this just kind of made me want to see her play a better character like that again. Um, so I appreciate the the cast, and I appreciated the pacing of it. Um, I thought for the most part they kept the movie going at a steady clip from one holiday to the next, and I appreciated the editing transitions from one holiday occasion to the next holiday occasion. So those were the things that I liked about this movie. Did I like a lot of the dialogue? No. Did I like a lot of the characters? No. Did I like some of the moments, like the whole Halloween thing with the pill confusion and that whole joke? No, I didn't like that. That just made me feel very uncomfortable. There, so it's a pretty predictable romantic comedy. It had a glimmer of a potential in the beginning because it openly mocks and discredits other famous romantic comedies, but then it just kind of falls on its ear and doesn't really follow through with the formula that it sticks to, ironically enough.
Okay.
So those are my main takeaways. Now, what do you have to yell about, my friend?
I hated this movie. I hated it so much. So much. I hated this fucking movie. I hated everyone in it. I thought everyone was a bastard or an asshole. No one was likable. Everyone was shrill, obnoxious, and smug as fuck, and none of it is earned. I don't know when I'm supposed to like anyone. I don't know when I'm supposed to root for anyone. Everyone is either just so happy and quirky. Oh, why did you have a boyfriend? Or I'm so cynical, which means I'm so wise. You should all be smug and look up to me because I'm smarter than all of you. And they have that same fucking tone through the entire hour and 45 minutes of this goddamn fucking movie. And there is an entire part where they, like, at the wedding scene, there's a whole thing when they go to a wedding, the two realize that they're having feelings for each other. And like, okay, this must be close to the climax, is it? No, 45 fucking minutes left.
Well, they
always get through in the third fucking act. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta sit here and listen 45 minutes to these fucking assholes.
They were only at September by then. You can keep track of the time by which holiday they're hanging out on.
I hated them so much. These are unlikable people. They are
agree. Yes,
self-absorbed and smug and obnoxious, and that horrible, the worst kind of cynical, where you think that means you know shit. You don't know shit. You are just a dumb idiot who doesn't want to actually know things, and you pretend you do. And I hate that. I hate that so much. And like, they don't really change all that much until from beginning to end of the movie. They really don't. She's still a smug asshole by the end of the movie. And quite frankly,
she quit smoking.
They just happen to like each other now. That's like really the only thing that changes.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that. It goes, oh god. Every other character is one note and up everyone's ass about everything, to the point where it's like, do you have anything else to do with your time in your life? The mom's one goal in this movie is just go like, why don't you have a boyfriend? Don't you have a boyfriend? Why do you have a boyfriend?
That really bugged me. That really made me feel sad for Emma Roberts' character, even though I didn't like Emma Roberts' character. That one note motherly characterization really bothered me. It was so uncomfortable and mean.
And moreover, the very existence of that character and the one note she has completely defeats the point of the movie's premise. The whole premise of this movie is that these two characters find each other but don't really want a relationship, but they want someone to take out on dates for holidays. So it's like, okay, we'll be each other's dates on holidays. We'll meet up on the holidays and we'll hang out. And yet every time she already tells the entire family the arrangement. To me, like, wasn't the entire point of having a date on the holidays is so somebody wouldn't keep asking you what your relationship chances were? Wasn't that the entire point? Don't you defeat the entire premise of that by telling everyone exactly what's going on? I don't think you know what you are, movie. Sorry,
yeah.
These characters, like, it's one of those character arcs, like character archetypes that just grate on you. like 3 days out in the sun cheese on a cheese grater. It's just hard and stiff and just awkward and uncomfortable, and the sound it makes me want to cry. I did not like this movie.
I can understand why. I like I said, there were a few things that I liked about it, but
Like the credits.
I I didn't really like the characters and their lack of depth and motivation, and there were certain moments in this movie that just kind of made me wonder, why is this happening? Like at the wedding during the mother-daughter dance, did they know that they were doing the mother-daughter dance to a song about sex by Boys to Men?
I think that was the joke.
It wasn't funny. It was really gross.
No, it was not funny. But comedy, lowest common denominator. That's this movie. Fuck. It's one of those things. Like, everyone has one note in this movie, and they stay that way through the entire thing. Like, the main character gets a little better as the movie goes along. A little better. I'm being super generous. But even then, the minute they have the inevitable, I'm starting to catch feelings for him, but now we're having a conflict because the movie demands it. And she immediately defaults back to, well, now I'm back to being a selfish bitch. And that's all I am. Look at my snark and my cynicism. That means I'm so deep. And I'm really a real victim here. And the other guy's like, yeah, well, I could be a pretentious douchebag, which means I'm also the victim here. And I'm going to act like it all the ways, like the entitled white man I am.
Yes.
God. And then like the character's like the woman that's almost like in her 50s and is like this like super slutty woman who looks like she's the same age as her supposed mom, which is just really weird.
Kristen Chenoweth's character, yeah.
And like that's her entire personality is slut. That's all she has.
Yeah,
she does have like a big moment towards the end. It's still like slightly different variation of slut. That's really
it. It's just now she's the young hot doctor's slut.
And like the best friend of what's the douchebag's name?
Jackson,
who's just there to like, I make quips. Look at me, I'm a quip machine. I'm like, Chris Rock was too expensive. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, God damn it, have a point. Rather than just fill a checkbox, and you don't get to act like you're smart by calling out romantic comedies and saying like, oh, look how clever we are. But you can point out romantic comedy tropes. We're gonna do the exact same thing, with no sense of self-awareness about what we're doing. But we're gonna act like we're superior by pointing it out as if that's enough.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They didn't. They set up a mark to hit, and they missed it by a mile.
I feel like it's also being pretty generous.
There was some thought put into the basic writing of at least some of this, but the final draft and the execution, they just dropped the ball. They just they didn't follow through on the intentions that were laid out.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I think for me, I feel like that implies this movie was given more thought than I feel like it was.
Well, every movie is given some thought, and most scripts go through multiple incarnations and drafts.
True, but again, that implies there's a smarter version of this. I'm not convinced there is. This feels like a very paint by numbers, cynical as the main characters in terms of plot and execution, with an attempt to be clever to hide how shallow it is. That's what it feels like to me.
That is the end product. Yes, I feel like there was a draft of this that the Netflix execs said no, lower the bar.
Maybe, I mean, I'm not willing to give them that much credit without a behind the scenes story of some kind. Because to me, like a part might be, but the whole doesn't really substantiate enough to imply that there was more in here that was rewritten, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
That's pure speculation, though. What really the point is, this movie sucks. Everyone in it sucks, and I hate these kind of cynically made rom-coms, especially ones that remind me of Christmas, and we all know how much I love that time of year. Especially this year in the year of our Lord 2020, where everything has gone to shit, everything sucks. So fuck you and fuck Christmas. I'm done.
Okay. So there is a Netflix original rom-com that I genuinely love. It's from 2018. It's called Set It Up. It's also cheesy and formulaic, but the writing is a million times smarter than Holidate.
Yeah, and it's like the issue is the genre itself. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So there are good Netflix rom-coms to be seen. This just isn't one of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the issue isn't the genre. The issue is the execution of it. And that's the reason I hated rom-coms for so many years, is because they were all like, there was a time and there was a million of them a week, and they were all just the same movie, just with like slightly different settings. Like they were like cop procedurals. Where it's like, oh, we're gonna get these two wacky people together with a slight variation of the usual formula, and that was like the movie over and over and over again. Now, granted, every genre is guilty of this, so I'm not singling out rom-coms in particular, but it involves all the tropes that bother me in particular.
That's fair.
This one is definitely an encapsulation of that. Now, luckily, in the past few years, I feel like we've been slowly getting away from that to an extent. It's still there, but it's not quite as prevalent. It's not quite as obnoxious. We don't see quite as many proposals these days as we did like 10 years ago.
That's true.
But like this one definitely is emblematic of everything that was wrong with that era of rom-com. In my opinion.
Yeah, just in terms of rom-coms you can watch on Netflix, I'd say skip Holidate, watch Set It Up, or Always Be My Maybe.
Or hell, just like watch a TV show. I just finished watching New Girl. Great show. Go watch that instead. Way better rom-com.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've worn myself out on this one. Anything else to talk about in this movie?
I didn't realize how short Emma Roberts was.
Oh yeah.
She's not as tall as her aunt.
I don't know who her aunt is.
Julia Roberts.
Oh right. Okay.
Another rom-com icon of.
Oh yeah, I like Pretty Woman.
So. Yeah, me too. It's a classic.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie sucks.
Yeah.
Go watch other rom-coms. Unless you're like really that desperate for some reason. But yeah.
Yeah, I highly recommend Set It Up if you're on scrolling through Netflix and want a rom-com that is much better than this one.
All right. So we got a lot of movies to catch up on probably next week. You got The Trials of Chicago 7, Over the Moon, The Witches, and a couple of like Love and Monsters I've heard is good, and like Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight is like one of those more indie ones that's on the list. So we'll try to get as many of those as we can next week. Hopefully kind of make up for the couple weeks we kind of been MIA. Because we've all been stressed as fuck this week.
Hopefully I'll be able to catch up on sleep tonight.
But hopefully, or at the very least, we'll be able to finally get like the first restful 8 hours we've got in the last 4 years in a week or two.
From your mouth to God's ears, my friend.
No, knock on wood. So yeah, that's all we got. Thank you guys for watching. See y'all later.